Do you like our shiny new intro that Feed made? It's very good. Calm Wiki Roulette. Calming Wiki Roulette. We're in the chill Wiki Roulette space today. How are we all doing? We're already on the Tardis Wiki right away. See, subverted expectations already. It is smooth, right? Right? I think Feed did a really good job. I think that was shorter, certainly. Yes, right to the point. Hi, Cookie. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, entries. 3 new, sparkly, delicious entries for the wheel. How wonderful. I'm fucking loving this shit. Yes, Xavier. Hello, I see you saying hello. You have my attention. What's up? The back rooms. Okay. The Shadow Spiral, a short story, and Backrooms. Okay. RTD is massive. He would destroy everything beneath him. He is definitely a big and tall. Yes, that is certainly true. You were watching what pages with great interest? Should I be scared? I feel scared. I feel very scared. Anyway, I should probably explain the premise of this show, shouldn't I? Hello, Turtle! Good to see you! I should probably explain the premise of this show, and then we're going to get on to some stuff for next week, and then we're going to get on to the show. Anyway, this is Tardis Wiki Roulette. We take articles from the Tardis Wiki, we put them in this wonderful Alan right here, and then we spin Alan, and then we look at the wiki and funny stuff happens. That's how the show works. The Backrooms related ones, I have no idea what the Backrooms is. I just know that, like, the only thing I know about the Backrooms is gross yellow walls on YouTube thumbnails. That's the only thing I know. Favorite Moffat episode? I guess Heaven Sent. Continuity errors, they're canon to Doctor Who now. What are the Backrooms a canon to Doctor Who? Am I going to learn what the Backrooms are today? Maybe not, because it is ultimately a game of random chance. Did I add those, by the way? I don't know if I added those. Yeah, it looks like they're here. I see them. I'm up to date. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. You all know this. You all know this to be true. What about the front rooms? What would you do if you no-clipped into the back? I have no idea what the Backrooms is. I don't know. Is that? Well, I didn't even know there was no-clipping involved. What's the Backrooms? One of you is going to have to explain to me what it is. And then I can give you an opinion on it. Until then, you're gonna have to tell me. I know what the Monument mythos is. I know what that is. Those are fun. Those are good. Is it like that? For me, my favourite Moffat episode is either Blink or Empty Child. Those are both solid choices as well. I'm not sure how well the page explains. I haven't read it yet. Oh no. I'd wait for Slenderman to show. Oh no, it's not some Slenderman shit, is it? Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, baby.
God damn it, why are you doing that now? The Fall of the Federation. Okay, let's see what this is all about on the Tardis Wiki. On Tardis Wiki Roulette. Yeah. Okay. Fall of the Federation. Here we go. Boom. So Backrooms is like a dev room for reality. Okay. There's no, as far as I know, there's no connection between Backrooms and Slenderman. Okay. Cool. I know what Slenderman is. I'm old enough to know what Slenderman is. I've seen Marble Hornets. I quite like it. It's okay. Let's see. According to a 20th century account of humanity's past and future history, the fall of the Federation was a period between the 51st and 50th centuries in which the Galactic Federation gradually declined. Slender Man from Doctor Who Series 6, yes. The period from the 41st to 50th centuries was marked by several notable developments. First, on Earth, following the upheaval caused by Mavic Chen's betrayal, several important political changes occurred, each causing severe rifts with the Federation and within the Solar System's administration. Earth eventually turned its back on the Federation. Blah 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 blah. Where's the fun stuff on this? Where do we get to the fun stuff? This is just space politics. I feel like someone is describing the plot of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace to me. When does something blow up? In the galaxy, the Federation continued to thrive, except it now had acquired a harder, more authoritarian, even militaristic style. The discovery of Spectrox, a life-extending drug, had a profound impact on all the components of the galactic society. Just leave it at that. The best Star Wars... I'm going to throw my head back and laugh at you now. There you go. I'm done now. Do you know what liminal space is? No, I don't know what a liminal space is. I'm basically the Wiki's resident backrooms expert. Can you, like... Yeah, the main factor of the backrooms is the liminality of each level. First one image of the backroom. Find one image of the backrooms and you'll see. I don't know what the word liminal means. Obvious joke is obvious. What's the obvious joke? I don't know what the obvious joke is. On Handra's Only Minor, that scares me as well. Calling it the best one. What? Yeah. Is it because he has two lightsabers? Everyone knows The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie. I think that is way more valid. And I don't even like The Last Jedi, but it's valid if you really love it. I don't know, it goes for things, it tries things. You can't say it's not like a daring movie. Let's see, Empire Strikes Back, then I tell you what, I like Empire Strikes Back, that's my favourite, because I'm old school. A liminal space is the term used to describe... I've been watching the Clone Wars series recently, and that's been very good as well. A liminal space is a term used to describe photos of places that are either transitional locations, e.g. hallways, kinescopic locations, essentially abandoned locations, and sometimes creepy locations. Okay. Okay, so it's just a photograph of an abandoned creepy building. Just look up an image of the back rooms. The feeling you get is a... Alright, I'll do it. I'll look up this thing. I'll do that. Let's look up the back rooms. There's a film. Is the film about the thing? Oh. 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 The fuck is this? The fuck is this? What is this? What is this little squiggly man? It's just a mediocre hotel room with a squiggly man. The Backrooms mythos takes on these photographs and invents this idea that they all exist in this subdimension where people can essentially glitch into. Feels like an abandoned Midwestern building you've seen before. Yeah, it looks like an abandoned industrial space. It looks like an office space that hasn't been, like, decorated yet. What squiggly man? I don't see a squiggly man. This little monster man guy over here. You can see him on my screen. Don't pretend you can't see him. Don't gaslight me. This guy. There are also monsters. Yeah, I can see one of them here. Don't see it? Nah, man. I know that you're lying to me. I know that you're lying to me. Oh! Oh, okay. Yeah, these all just look like empty industrial spaces. I don't know. He's not there, you're seeing things? The fuck is this guy over here? The back rooms have already affected your mind. This shit doesn't work on me, guys. This shit doesn't work on me. I'm too long in the tooth for this. I was around for the Russian sleep experiment. You can't get me with this shit. No way. No way. Its exact nature isn't known, like all good monsters. Empty industrial experiences that crucially you feel like you've seen before, even if you know you haven't. Have you heard of JoJo? No. Yes. You mean JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I've heard of that. Why did I say experiences? Why did you say experiences? I don't know. Sadly, the back rooms have been kind of taken over by clickbait and kids who just make silly monsters. It looks, at first glance, it does kind of look like a thing for kids for silly monsters, but like, I'm willing to be like, I'm willing to have my mind open, as you know. I can't like God. Oh, I legit thought the Russian sleep experiment was real as a kid. Gave me nightmares. Yeah, that one's like actually scary because it could happen. Like, in your mind, you're like, that could be possible. That could be possible. Birds aren't real. I used to know someone who actually believed that birds weren't real. Who actually believed that birds were, like, fake. They do exist out there. They do exist out there. They also were kind of flat earth curious as well. They were an interesting fellow. Oh, cool. The idea of the Moffat was inspired by a 4chan post. What isn't? That was arguably one of the best stories despite being a paragraph long and on 4chan. I know someone from Finland who hated the Finland isn't real meme. Ryan, are you really a round earther? I am. No, I'm not a round earther because the earth is an oblate spheroid, actually. It's not round. It's an oblate spheroid. Everyone knows that. Anyway, don't we have another thing to spin, or is there something good on the Fall of the Federation page that I'm missing right now? There could be something good on the Fall of the Federation page that I'm missing right now. Round, that's round. Round equals spherical. Yeah, but a sphere is not a spheroid, is it? Otherwise it would be called a sphere. It's a spheroid. And it's oblate, whatever that word means. Everyone knows the Earth is square. Not a cube. It's just flat, but it has corners. Is that what you're saying? I know shapes. I remember that from school, nothing else. My personal preference is to the backrooms is a monsterless world filled with impossibly large human-like but uncanny locations that you'll eventually go mad in. I don't mind a monster or two on occasion, but most of them are dumb. Okay. Also, time cube is trivially true, and you saying that you think the Earth is a cube? I'm going to assume that's what you're saying, and no attempt to explain otherwise will work. Anyway, it looks like we're almost at the end here, so we'll just do this one. On Androzani Minor, the Fifth Doctor and Perry Brown became involved in a conflict between Shara's Jecture. That's just the plot of fucking Caves of Androzani. Which, if you haven't seen, you need to see, because it's like maybe the third best Doctor Who story. It's very good. It's very good. Even then putting a dumb monster in it for no reason doesn't, like, detract from how good it is. Where are the 4 other days? There are, like, these cake-looking guys called partygoers who carry red balloons and live level inspired by an indoor place. Isn't this just the infinite IKEA? Isn't this just a variation on the Infinite IKEA, like SCP? Like, it really sounds like it. It really sounds like the same fundamental idea, but, like, not as fun. I don't know. Time Cube is the best, utterly nuts. Am I right, though? It really sounds like the Infinite IKEA to me. The Infinite IKEA, can't remember which came first, but yes, rather similar. I really like that one. No, they're not completely the same. I'm just saying they're very, very similar. I like the Infinite IKEA more, though, because I feel like it's very well defined and it has like a really strong narrative drive to it. The Backroom sounds, from what you're describing to me, more like a template for storytelling that hasn't actually had a great story written in it yet. As the IKEA is, well, IKEA and not an abandoned location. Yeah, but it's still, I mean, here's the thing, like, it's still being trapped inside a, it's still being trapped inside a representation of, like, the alienation that comes from living in an urban environment. Like, that's where the primary fear is, and it taps into those. So, oh, there are good stories? Good. Can you explain Infinite IKEA? Infinite IKEA is an IKEA that can exist anywhere in the world, and if you walk into it and get lost in it, you will get lost in it forever. Now, you are able to survive in this Infinite IKEA because there are Swedish meatballs, and you may come across other survivors who may be friendly or may not. You may even form lovely little communities inside the Infinite IKEA where you're able to live out a kind of commercialist parody of a hunter-gatherer existence. But you have to watch yourself at night, because at night the staff come, and when the staff come, people go missing. That's the Infinite IKEA. It's really good. It's really good. It's a really fun little concept. To be honest, RTD should unironically rip it off and make it a Doctor Who episode. It would be really good. It is fun. Yeah, I like the fact that it's an IKEA, and I like the fact that the people subsist on Swedish meatballs. I think that's, number one, really funny, but number two, like, existentially horrifying as well. RTD ripping off, never. Well, the SCP is Creative Commons, isn't it? Needn't actually rip it off. True. You could just do the Infinite IKEA. I tell you what, if he unironically just did Infinite IKEA in season 2, let's be real, there's not going to be a season 3. I would cheer. I would be so happy. While the Backrooms is top. Just do them all. Just do all the Creative Commons things. Do one season where it's just Creative Commons and public domain things. Ryan, did you see my explanation above? Kane's Pixels YouTube series is very well made and is even getting an A24 movie adaptation. Wow, okay. Hang on. Fucking, I'm holding the stream up while I look this up. I'm grabbing this for later consumption. 1 second. Okay.
Have you ever?
Yay! No trailer yet, though, sadly. Oh, piss. Oh well. I really hope that the new Backrooms movie gets Mario's voice right. Anyway, none of it's cool. Over the course of the next 500 years, when Terran influence diminished and its growing reputation of military interventions of the type seen in Androzani, the Federation began to disintegrate into new empires and new federations. Did you see the Lilo and Stitch live action trailer? I did not. Does it look good? I hope it looks good. This page was, I don't know. Wasn't right for this, I think. But it was interesting, kind of, to learn that the Federation fell, as detailed in the page, fall of the Federation. However, I think we should spin a wheel. It looks like a 1-to-1 adaptation. That's cool.
Yeah, baby.
Alan likes that. Why are you sick, Alan? Conjunction of the million spheres. The Backrooms crossover that we got is actually well written. It explores the idea of the backrooms in a metaphysical sense, theorizing perhaps a dimension is alive or a perception of infinity by the human's limited means. Okay. Ryan, you love lore like this? I do love lore like this. I don't know what this is yet, but I know that I love it. Also has good LGBTQ plus themes. That's awesome as well. Love to hear it. Let's look this one up on the wiki. Oh my god. Sounded like that dude's car was fucking the air then. Which I suppose all cars do. If you think about it. Okay. Ryan, which Squid Game characters are most similar to RTD, Moffat, and Chibnall? Let me try and remember which Squid Game character is which really quickly. 1 second. I've only seen season 1 as well. We'll do this. Let me see. All right, I have the picture of all the players thanks to Reddit. I remember. I love Squid Game because I look at this, I forgot all the characters' names, I forgot all of that, and then I see this and I'm like, oh, now I remember every single fucking one of you. Every single fucking one. Hold on. Boom. There we go. Now you can all join me on this endeavour. What do you think is the best series of Doctor Who from 2005 onwards? Either Series 8 or Series 10, I would say, are the best ones. Series 1 and Series 4 are really good as well. Series 5 is really good as well. Series 9 is amazing. Season 2, yeah. I did a season, I think I did a tier list, actually, at some point. Or maybe I hallucinated that. That's also entirely possible. Maybe even probable. Series 10, you're a Series 10 person? That's wonderful. Let's have a look. I think Stephen Moffat is like player 17. I think Chris Chibnall is like player 218, and I think that Russell T Davis is like player 1. That's my opinion on which showrunner is which Squid Game character. I've never watched Squid Game. If you did, then that would have been really funny and clever. And that's the important thing you need to remember. Ryan said a really clever and funny thing. That's the thing you take away from this interaction. Who is player 17? He's the like thug one. He's the like common criminal one. He's like the bully one. Also, half of the main male cast have done dodgy things. It does not surprise me at all. At all. Me and Felicia both watch K-dramas, and let me tell you, the Korean entertainment industry is quite a place. It doesn't surprise me at all. Oh dear. Okay, let's look at the next page. Did we even spin? We did. Oh my god, we did. Conjunction of the million spheres. Sorry for the people who were absolutely like hyped beyond their tits to see me look up conjunction of a million spheres. Do not worry. Do not fret. Your time has come. Okay, let's see. Conjunction of the million spheres, also called the Great Refiguration of the Great Recreation, was a regular event where all universes of the million spheres overlapped and engaged in a complex movement resembling a pavane. Is that a kind of cake? It sounds like a kind of cake. I'm going to assume it's a kind of cake. Heralding the point of rebirth in the cycle of universal regeneration, it's a kind of cake. It was a point of weakness in the cycle, with disruptions to the conjunction having potential to destroy all universes and relegate their inhabitants to limbo. Can I make a requested edit? Can I make a requested edit to the wiki? This line here. It was a point of weakness in the cycle with disruptions to the conjunction. I want you to put, it was a point of weakness in the cycle with disruptions to the conjunction causing all kinds of dysfunction and having the potential to destroy all universes and relegate their inhabitants to limbo. That's the edit that I would like to request on this page. On the grounds that I'm pretty sure it doesn't violate any of your rules, and it also would be funny. That's what I would do if I edited Tardis Wiki articles. I would just find ways to make stuff rhyme. That was what all I would do all day. Oh dear, and you'd have to delete all of my stories. Bad math and stories. Yeah, I know, right? One conjunction occurred in 51007 relative to the Doctor's universe, while on K1, funny is more important than informative. Yes! Exactly, and to be honest, if you're going on the TARDIS Wiki because you want it to be informative, it's actually probably a pretty good resource for a lot of things that you can find. It's a very well-run wiki. Only discussion to avoid the addition of fraudulent addition. See? It becomes addictive after a while. One conjunction occurred. Yeah, I read that. Oh, it's the coming of the Terraphiles again? Noticing that they were threatened by the Dark Tides, in the end the Rugulator was returned to the second ether black hole. It becomes addiction. Yes, it does indeed become addiction, yes. Yeah, you need a discussion to avoid the addition of fraudulent addition. Otherwise, it becomes an addiction and can lead to friction with your collaborators on this edition of the wiki. That could happen, yes. Let's look at the wheel. Okay. I think if found a contradiction, they might find a contradiction. But then you have to argue to them that it was a fiction. Used addition twice, 0 out of 10. Fuck you, Najawin. Yeah, baby. My favourite Walking Dead character is Daryl Dixon. Skib addiction. Isn't this just the Silurian Cybermen again? Why does every page just lead us to the Silurian Cybermen? It's like the Kevin Bacon of Doctor Who. What are we doing? My god, 1 second. I'm back. Cybermen. One type of Silurians were encountered by the 11th Doctor on prehistoric Earth. We've done this one before, I swear. No, the Kevin Bacon of Doctor Who is Doctor. I feel like you guys really wanted it to be. Ryan darted off his screen real quick to use his time machine. That is true. That is what happened just then. It's okay, nothing's on fire, I swear. However, these Silurians were distinguished with their crests on their heads and down their neck, and faces with bulging black eyes, wide curved mouths, and no visible noses. As such, their genuine faces resembled the Silurian masks of their more human-like warrior counterparts, whom history is known as late Silurians. Can't see the wiki? Tough shit. We're going over to the next one now. I already read the whole article. There you go. There you go. Wait. Whoop! There you go. Wait. Oh, you didn't see it? You didn't see it? Whoop! 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 You want to see it? You want to see it? Well, touch it. Oh! Okay. We're going to spin the wheel again. That is Sea Devils are Sea Silurians. That's the difference. Oh. Wait, what's that? What's the difference between Silurians and Sea Devils? Racism. Let's spin.
Yeah, baby.
Boing boing. Yay! That's the song. Lost Contact. We looked at this one. Rejected.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh. The Doctor's Giddy Aunt. We looked at this one too. That's another rejected. How many more are on here? Jesus.
Yeah, baby.
Alan, what are you doing? God damn it, Alan. Is this a new one? I'm pretty sure this has already landed, but we can look it up again. Wait, he actually has a Giddy Aunt? Yes. That's a well-known thing. It's a very well-known thing. Okay. Here we go. It's another short one, sadly. She giddies my aunt till my Patrick Troutons. LGBTQ was an acronym standing for lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer. The acronym was used in a promotional image for Levenshulme Pride, which Panda posted onto his Twitter account, stating that some children were LGBTQ and let children be children. Oh damn, if this page doesn't cover all of the LGBTQ rep in my stories, rest in peace. No. It's just a tweet. It just covers a tweet from Panda. That's all the LGBTQ representation that has ever been in Doctor Who ever is that tweet from Panda. Other than that, zilch.
Yeah, baby.
Alan agrees, and he knows everything. Very true. Yeah. See, Narjawin agrees with me. If me and Narjawin agree on something, it's probably true. Jordan O'Neill. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, Doctor not woke, not according to the Tardis Wiki, the font of all knowledge, no. We've done this one, I think, as well. We have done this one. Fuck!
Yeah, baby.
Did we do Lon Chaney Jr.? I don't know if we did. It's good in a way because we get to purge all of these answers and they're gone forever then. There's no page for Lon Chaney Jr. Fuck.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Oh my god, Alan's better. Oh dear, now I get to alienate half of my audience. Yay! I tell you what, I have such a complicated relationship with the Merlin show because like I really like some of the characters, I really like all of the actors. I think it's a delightful fantasy romp. I also think that it's ontologically evil as well. That's shaking my head as I navigate to the Merlin TV show page so people... Hey! The people don't need to know how the sausage is made, Najawin. It's... Elaborate? What if I just say a statement like that? The Merlin TV show is evil, and then I just walk away and don't elaborate. What happens then? What are the consequences for me doing that? No. Okay. So, I think that the Merlin TV show is a story about how if you are different from the majority, you should keep your head down and hide it, basically. I mean, it's casually evil. I'm not sure about ontologically, so let's not split hairs here. Okay? The fact that it's evil is the fucking point. Have you ever seen the show Merlin, Vilmunter? Who here, a show of hands, I can see you, I'm watching all of you. Who here has seen the show Merlin in its entirety? Because I have. The only thing I remember about the Merlin show is the farting episode. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? In the Merlin episode, one of the main plot hooks of the show is that Arthur's father, Uther Pendragon, has banned the use of all magic across the realms. And if you are caught practicing magic or being magical in any way in the realm of Camelot, they just fucking kill you. Okay? So Merlin grows up as a naturally magically talented child in a world where he will be killed for doing magic. Okay? And his magical mentor, whose name I can't remember, I think it's like Caecilius or Barnaby or something, he's played by the I don't believe it man, who's in Doctor Who, the gas mask man. Gaius, that's it, Gaius. I was going to get there at the end, thank you. He regularly imparts to him the knowledge that, like, this is just the way things is and you shouldn't push back against it. And Uther never actually learns that hating all magic users and like being genocidal to them is a bad thing. He just ends up dying, and then Arthur ends up taking the crown, okay? So you would think now that Arthur, who, let me point this out and let me belabor this, okay, is Merlin's best friend, okay? You would think that Arthur, King Arthur, the greatest hero maybe in all of British culture, you would think that he would be like, oh, we should probably get rid of the magic ban that makes our entire kingdom evil, right? No, in fact, he enforces it more violently than his fucking dad does. He's a fucking monster about it. And then Arthur, you'd think, oh yeah, he's going to redeem himself and learn the error of his ways. No, he dies. You see the beginning and the end of Arthur's reign in this show, and the entirety of it is him presiding over a genocidal regime against magic users and being like a monster, basically. Just through inaction, because he's still meant to be the hero. He still does good heroic things. He's just, you know, he's also a kill bigot as well. Then we get to Guinevere taking the throne. And Guinevere, it ends with Guinevere taking the throne and promising to maybe lift the genocidal magic ban at some point in the future, possibly. Don't mind the Uther thing, it's the Arthur bit that's really bad. No, I agree with you. It wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't that by the show enforcing that as a status quo, the show was agreeing with it. Uther wasn't evil by the show's morality because he hated and wanted to kill magic users. He was evil by the show's morality because he was mean to Arthur and Merlin. And that is not portrayed as a bad thing. It's portrayed as a morally grey thing at worst. There are multiple times where they have opportunities to end the magic ban forever, and they save the day by continuing to enforce the magic ban, or like making it so that circumstances are like gonna make the magic ban like keep happening. There's multiple times where Merlin is forced to, by his own hand, keep the magic ban going using magic. Some of the magic users are bad and dangerous though, so that it's just gotta stay. You know what I think should have happened, Najawin? I think Merlin should have ended with all the other kingdoms in England all conquering Camelot with their army of level 20 wizards. That's how I think that Merlin should have ended, personally. Yeah, no, it ends... Oh, and the story ends with Merlin waiting by Arthur's corpse until modern day, because Arthur is still Britain's destined hero and meant to save us, modern degenerates, at some point. That is unironically how the fucking show ends. It ends with Merlin as an old man now, sadly walking past where Arthur is buried in the modern day. So it's like Mutants. It's like if the X-Men was a show commissioned by William Stryker. That's what Merlin is. It's really bad. I don't know. It's an evil show. And I stand by that. And I stand by that. 100%. 100 fucking %. It's awful. It's a great show. Don't get me wrong. If you like Doctor Who-y adventure plots and you don't mind like a little bit of genocide, it's fine. It's a real shame that they like have to keep the magic bag going because it fucks up the entire thing. But it has hot people in it. How bad can it be? That is true. I'm honestly not sure how much of the evilness of Arthur was thought out or just stumbled into. I mean, I think they stumbled into it, but I also feel like they left themselves without a choice. Because, I mean, one of Arthur's first scenes where he gets any development is him bullying Merlin, and then his second scene is him giving a speech about how he's a killing machine. So, yeah, King Arthur describes himself as a killing machine, as a brag in this show. It's wonderful. Honestly, sometimes you never take in consideration the real-life implications of themes in certain things. You should, though! You absolutely should. If you like that annoying kid from the Midnight episode, he's good, man. He's good. He's a good actor. The kid who plays Merlin is fucking great. There's a lot of people in it who are fucking great. The dude who plays Arthur is fucking great. Like you said, Lena Luthor's in it. She's really, really good. And a lot of the time, I'm going to be honest, Morgan Le Fay in it, a lot of the time, you're like, no, she's right. No, she's right. No, she's right. Sorry. It's good. It's good stuff, man. I don't know. And it's also evil. Annie Head is in it, and he's amazing too. But yeah, it's evil, and I won't step down from that. I watched a video about the potential misogyny in the Pokemon community and the hate for one of the starter Pokemon, and it really made it clear how much the gaming is for boys marketing in the 80s led to, the 90s led to the rise of misogyny in young men, Gamergate, etc. She's going too far, but I see her point. Honestly, sometimes not even. Sometimes I'm just like, nah, kill him. with Uther and Arthur. So I was like, Morgana, get that bag. And by that bag, I mean that bag you're going to store the heads in. That's how frustrating it is watching an entire show where this guy is meant to be like the person you're meant to root for. It's pretty bad. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah, baby.
Random page. All right. Me making a point about Merlin was not an invitation for you guys to start talking about politics, by the way. Chill over there. I see you all. I see you all. Calm yourselves. Calm yourselves, because we're about to look up our random page. Storm! A storm was a disturbance in the atmosphere. On Earth, storms could be... How about a little politics, just a teensy bit? I let you have a teensy bit. And now I'm pulling it back. A storm was an disturbance in an atmosphere. On Earth, storms could be measured on the Beaufort scale and at higher levels such as Force 12, cause lots of damage to sea vessels. Peladon was known for being exceptionally stormy. Types of storms included asteroid storms, cosmic storms, galactic cyclones, ion storms, neutron storms, rad storms, rift storms, sandstorms, smog storms, solar storms, and time storms. Notably absent is thunderstorms from this. Do thunderstorms not exist in Doctor Who? Is that how this works? Which one is it? Is the storms not exist in Doctor Who? Is that how this works? I think that's how this works. I'm going to assume that's how this works. Okay. On 17th of July 1888, a force 12 storm blowing up to 90 knots caused the Elysium to crash on rocks around half a mile from the extremities of the south coast of England. However, according to a transcript of the newspaper that reported the crash a day later, published on the Northwest Historical Society's website in the 2010s, there had been no storm warnings in that sector and the weather had been recorded as calm. And that's because storms don't exist in Doctor Who. We already covered that. I used to hate... Oh, wait a minute. And it has made it clear how hard it was for me to express any level of femininity in my youth because I was so desperate to inform to ways other male kids behaved. I used to hate Justin Bieber. No idea why. I never heard any of his music, but I was told to. Same for High School Musical and Twilight and all. I remember teasing someone for having a Troy Bolton lunchbox from High School Musical. I hate the influences that misogynistic crap had on me and how it affected how my gender is viewed by family. I'm telling you, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Do you know, I didn't get in... The main reason I've never seen SpongeBob is because I was of an age and generation where if you watched SpongeBob, people thought you were gay. And I was young enough that actually, like... bothered me because I was stupid. How toxic masculinity happens to the best of us. It does. It affects every single person. It's definitely affected me. I've had to do tons of soul searching to get over a lot of my worst traits. People do, man. People do. Back in 2019, I was watching fucking Nerdrotic when I got back into Doctor Who. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. I don't know. It's not... It's difficult. It's really, really difficult to like escape from that kind of influence when it permeates our culture to such a deep degree. It really is. Anyway, let's go back to reading about storms now. Oh, I guess we're done. His transcription mentioned reports of an angelic woman being seen after the crash. No, I don't know what that means, and I guess we're never going to find out because we have to go to the wheel. I'm ashamed to say I was mildly on... Don't be ashamed of it. It's like just a part of your history as a person and growing up on that. I used to watch The Amazing Atheist as well. Like, it just happens. Oddly, it was people in Who's Spaces who tell me how full of crap he is and his ilk were, especially in terms of Doctor Who and canonicity, that broke me out of it. For me, it was COVID. That's what did it for me. The angelic woman is, spoiler, a weeping angel? Okay. Chicken or terse soup? There we go. Let's find out what chicken or terse soup is about. Well, you know what? I'm really proud of all of my fellow escapees from that pipeline. I will say, I'm immensely proud of every single one of you. I know it's really hard to break out of those spheres, and I know that all of you probably had a real struggle doing that, and I am proud of you. I just want to say that. I'll make it extremely clear. There's nothing to be ashamed of. The fact that you're out of it now is something to actually be proud of. Never let someone who was born in an environment where having the right political opinions was just a matter of course tell you that de-radicalizing yourself is doing the bare minimum. They're full of shit. Does not comment on GG because of personal ties. I know. Chicken auteur soup was a canned soup product created by the Noodle Man, consisting of liquidized parts of a person, namely auteur in his skeleton form, mixed with chicken broth. The cans featured an image of a skull and partial to speaking, yelling, screaming, and shaking. The Noodle Man said the product was a source of calcium. The Noodle Man first created the soup after Auteur appeared in Hollywood in 1960 to warn Marilyn Monroe to stop making her film Let's Make Love. The Noodle Man turned Let's Make Love into a commercial directed by himself called Pasta in Paris. He used Monroe to try to sell the cans of the soup, stating that selling noodles was now a little last week and that his motive was capitalism. He made a stagehand consume the contents of the can. This stagehand found that the chicken Auteur soup contained pieces of bone. As a result, he lost all of his teeth and burst his carotid artery. I remember an Indian or Pakistani woman at college approaching me as I was wearing the Fourth Doctor scarf, talking about how good it was Doctor Who Series 11 was going to have a focus on societal issues and historical dramas, and how I shrugged her off due to my thoughts on wokeness. You fool! We all do stupid things in college, it's okay.
Yeah, baby.
Crasco? Oh no! Speaking of Series 11... Okay. Ryan, will Crasco appear in the Answer Doctor series? No. Absolutely fucking not. Crasco was a mass murderer imprisoned in Storm Cage containment facility in the 52nd century. Oh, and Something Blue audio creators out there. If any of you pitch me a story with Crasco in it, I will kick you out. To be clear. Like, without hesitation. Don't do it. In the 52nd century, Crasco murdered around 2,000 people and was imprisoned in the Storm Cage containment facility. His period of imprisonment overlapping with that of the Master. He was subject to rehabilitation and had a neural restrictor installed into his brain before he was released, preventing them from inflicting harm or killing any living thing regardless of how much he wanted to. Crasco believed that black people got above themselves and identified the Montgomery bus boycott as when things started to go wrong. He used a vortex manipulator to travel back to Alabama 1955, taking with him time displacement equipment and intending to prevent Rosa Parks from refusing to give up her seat on 1st of December by having James Blake replaced by Elias Griffin Jr. and limiting the number of passengers. After detecting and identifying the TARDIS, Crasco found that the 13th Doctor, Yasmin Khan, Ryan Sinclair, and Graham O'Brien with his equipment and threatened to kill them if they did not leave Montgomery. They did not do so, and when Crasco blocked the bus's route with a care, Ryan used his time displacement weapon on him, sending him back in time, likely to the time of the dinosaurs. How about someone finds his skeletal remains in the far past and that's it? Crasco being racist feels dumb, as dozens of stories by that time has shown that humanity had always but transcended above racism. I know. Crasco's racism led him to believe that things started to go. Why? Yasmin Khan described Crasco as having anger issues. They keep bringing him back up. Okay. What's this? Appearance. Pride called Crasco a pretty boy. He was able to blend in whilst in 1955, dressing in the appropriate fashion as to not raise suspicion. In the real world's 1950s American South, though, he would have raised suspicion, since leather jackets, especially when worn over white t-shirts, were associated with New York City criminal gangs, and the only young men who wore beards were beatniks. Thus, he would have drawn negative attention, probably including from the police. Also, like, he was racist. Why would he poorly try to upend the civil rights movement instead of, genocide and eugenics? Don't give him ideas. We're very lucky that he couldn't read. Okay? I guess that's the real answer.
Yeah, baby.
Oh. What? But it was produced. What are they talking about? Let's have a look. Also, he's like, if Rosa didn't stand up, none of this would have happened, and no one is like, that's not how history works. She would have just got a different bus and done it there. I don't know. I don't think that the bus being at that time was really the factor there that was important. The end of time. They decided to do just a Rosa Parks and work backwards to justify that? Yes. Yes. Anyway, I need to get the wiki up because we've got another page to look at. The End of Time was a mooted two-part serial plotted by Randy Lossifer, John Mark Lefisier, and Philip Siegel in 1994 as the finale of a potential first season of the revived Doctor Who series. In continuity with Robert DeLaurentis' script The Time of My Life, which was then under consideration for the head of the... Did all of them have time puns? Wasn't the bus thing planned? Yes, it was part of a wider campaign. It was very much planned. The basic storyline was adapted from a failed page by the Lefisiers to the Virgin New Adventures book line. When reproducing the outlines of it and the later The Hand of Omega, Jean-Marc Lefisier stressed that the two stories were not commissioned or paid for by the production. Unlike many other scripts from the period on the way to the eventually produced 1996 TV movie, and never got as far as constituting actual to-be-produced material, having always been intended as springboards for other discussions and thoughts. The serial featured references to Kinder, the Time Monster, and via what would have been the first true appearance of the much name-dropped terrible Zoden. The Five Doctors, as well as reimagining the mythos of the Key to Time and the Guardians of Time, with the white and black Guardians construed as incarnations of life and death rather than order and chaos or good and evil as more commonly proposed. Most notably, the story was intended to be the venue for one of the prior Doctors to guest star, presumably Sylvester McCoy's Seventh Doctor, though Tom Baker was also a consideration. With The Time of My Life having been a much more extensive reboot than the 1996 TV movie, whose main character was, in John Mark Lefisier's words, for all intents and purposes, an alternate Doctor, their plan was to literalize the reboot in-universe, revealing that the Doctor's universe, as Doctors knew it, had been destroyed using the Key to Time prior to the time of your life, with a new universe created from its ashes. Despite the coincidence of both involving Rassilon destroying the universe to achieve true godhood as a plot point, the serial had otherwise no relationship to the two-part special of that name, which was eventually written by Russell T Davies to close out David Tennant's tenure as the 10th Doctor. It wasn't explicitly planned that day with her or anything, but there was interest in doing something. She knew that, and so she made a choice with that knowledge. I believe they initially planned for a little girl to do it. Yeah, but there's not even a hint of that in the story. Yeah, no, in the story, it's very much implied that, like, no one had the idea to, like, do non-violent activism ever before she attempted this. And she just attempted it on a whim. Oh, stuff. Those I'll look at it. Put it on bed. The White Guardian takes control of the Doctor's TARDIS and warns the Doctor about Zoden. This prompts the Doctor to study ancient records from the days of Rassilon to learn more about the Guardian, discovering that he is the incarnation of life, one of the two forces which make up the universal balance. Guided by the Guardian, the Doctor lands in April 1912 in London, where he meets Anne Mansard, a young occultist belonging to the Adepts of Eleusis, headed by the Magus Sir Alistair McKen. The Doctor's curiosity is piqued when he fails to translate the Atlantean scrolls of Dalias, which she came to the British Museum to consult. It is revealed that they held the secret of the location to the fifth and penultimate sector of the key, for which Zoden ineffectively murders Sir Alistair. Oh god, this is long and boring. I'm doing something else. Okay. It is pretty interesting that there was another finale called End of Time, though. But yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Fucking hell. I'll be back in 1 second. And then we're gonna look at the back room. I'm back. Read all of this page. I put a good deal of work into it. I'll read all of the page. If you put a good deal of work into it, I'll read all of it. We just got a bunch of new streaming equipment. That's what that was. They were donated to us by a friend of the stream. Very kind of them to do so. Wow. Wow. We might be able to do Hollow Knight soon, Najawin. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of possibilities are opening up. After Zodin and the Doctor cross paths with her recognizing him as a Time Lord, the Doctor realizes that Zodin has been chosen by the Black Guardian, the incarnation of death, as his champion, and intends to use the key to time to destroy the universe and remake it in her own image. Whilst the Doctor and Anne investigate Macken's death, Zodin fruitlessly murders her way through the ranks of the Adepts of Eleusis. The Doctor and Anne are assisted in their investigations by a surviving Adept, DeVries, but as soon as the Doctor manages to translate the scrolls and identify the fifth segment's location, he reveals that he has been recruited by Zodin as her agent, and helps Zodin kidnap Anne as leverage against the Doctor as they go to retrieve the segment. Let's see. Having acquired it, however, Zodin still needs to cause another mass disaster to have enough psychic power to make another space-time jump. She, DeVries, and the captive Anne board the Titanic and deliberately cause its historic sinking, with the Doctor forced to let Zodin go at the last moment lest DeVries kill Anne. Zodin reveals that the Titanic diversion was a ruse to get the Doctor away from the TARDIS, which she needs to steal to complete her plans, taking control of it. She makes for Gallifrey, where the sixth and final segment of the key is kept. Though all seems lost as they remain stranded on the sinking Titanic, the Doctor reveals to Anne that he at least managed to substitute the fifth segment for a replica, having suspected DeVry. Thus, Zodin's key is flawed and will not work completely even if she gets the sixth segment. It is then another version of the Doctor's TARDIS abruptly appears on the deck of the sinking ship to save the Doctor and Anne. Out steps the seventh Doctor, who Anne's Doctor recognizes as another version of himself. That is a pretty cool cliffhanger, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Inside the seventh Doctor's TARDIS, the White Guardian misleadingly explains that he pulled the other Doctor from the infinity of timelines to insist his other self as a reward for having obtained one of the segments to the key to time. Landing on Gallifrey, the Doctors and Anne find that it is suffering from a power blight affecting both the Time Lords and the TARDISes. Cardinal Barusa eventually explains that the sixth segment of the key is a vital control element of the Eye of Harmony, which powers the entire Time Lord civilization, including their bodies, whose regenerative capabilities are triggered by nanomachines powered by the black hole. In this version of reality, the Eye is contained in a moon-sized spacecraft built by Rassilon, in which orbits the planet. As the seventh Doctor's TARDIS comes from another universe, it is still operational. Using it, the Doctors, Anne and Bruce's youngest student Ariel, who knows the Eye of Harmony and the legends surrounding Rassilon like no one else, the Doctor accepted, travel to the Eye, where they encounter another strange and wondrous robotic guardians, one of whom wounds Anne. The heroes eventually arrive in the vast trans-dimensional machine rooms holding the black hole captive behind its controlled event horizon, where they triumphed over DeVries. Given control of one of the robot guardians by Zodin, however, they are too late to stop Zodin from finally wrenching the sixth segment free of the Eye of Harmony, causing all on Gallifrey to go completely dark. Zodin's plan halts, however, when she realizes the fifth segment in her assembled key is a fake. As the main Doctor confronts her, she defends herself by claiming that she wouldn't be the first to do so, revealing that the universe the current Doctor inhabits was in fact created from the ashes of the classic Doctor Who universe, which was destroyed using the key in exactly this manner. One possible plot reveal at this stage is that Rassilon himself was responsible for this, when he saw that the Time Lords were waning and that he himself was dying. Another is that the Seventh Doctor himself was responsible, reluctantly destroying his own universe to prevent it from being taken over by the Black Guardian. In the latter plot configuration, it would be revealed that his spirit was then contained within the key, able to be summoned as a Guardian in a time of need by whoever else comes to hold it, and that this is how the Seventh Doctor had come to appear to his other self on the Titanic at the climactic moment. While the Doctor is reeling from these revelations, Zodin catches Ariel and uses as a hostage to exchange against the real fifth segment, with the Doctor complying. As Zodin assembles the true key, the two Guardians appear. The Doctor uses this as a distraction in turn, rushing at Zodin and pushing her past the event horizon. However, this makes matters worse, as Zodin is falling while still holding the key, and if the key is destroyed, the entire universe will go with it. The Seventh Doctor realizes that being alien to this universe, he can safely cross the event horizon and come back, unlike anyone from the universe. He gets the key back from Zodin, whom he leaves to her fate, and returns safely. The Seventh Doctor gives the new Doctor the key, telling him it's his universe, his choice. He can choose to use the key to remake the universe a second time, or he can dismantle it. But the latter action will automatically send the six segments to random corners of the universe once again, which means Gallifrey will be left without a power source and the Time Lords will die. Despite Ariel's protests and the Black Guardian's Mephistophelian offer of absolute power if he keeps the key, the Doctor chooses the second option. In reward, the White Guardian imbues the fake fifth segment with some of his own power, which he says will be enough to keep the Time Lords going for a few more billion years. The Seventh Doctor congratulates the Doctor and tells him that this universe is in good hands. He then steps into his TARDIS and dematerializes. Dum 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 dum. Woo! Was that good? Did you enjoy it? What's next? The fucking back rooms. We're looking at the back rooms. Now back rooms! I wonder if you could do that. Yeah, there should be. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the back rooms. Why don't we? The back rooms. Let's look at the back rooms. The back rooms. Okay. The backrooms, also known as the exteriority in the early 20th century, was an alternate dimension accessible from Earth by no clipping out of reality. Instead, the backrooms was a series of levels that were essentially self-contained worlds of typically endless darkened rooms inhabited by monsters. Humans who fell into this dimension were known as Wanderers or Explorers, with many forming an exploratory group known as Meg. The backrooms... What the fuck is no clipping? No clipping is when you go through the invisible walls on a video game. You know when you're playing a video game and you just like fall through the earth into like the void under the level space? That's what no clipping is. The backrooms were once known as the exteriority. It was with the advent of computers and their influence on the social atmosphere of the Wanderers within the older term became antiquated. Similarly, level became the preferred term over tier to describe the individual worlds within. The backrooms appeared to be endless. No matter how far Braddock Cranston travelled, there always seemed to be more locations to explore than those he had explored. Akin to the Hydra, Braddock compared himself to Sisyphus to this effect. He also preferred the term rum to describe the strangeness of the dimension, finding its simplicity to work best over other synonyms such as quaint, queer, bizarre, odd, and curious. Although the alternate dimension was not literally hell, some levels evoked Satan, and Braddock believed they surely had a hand in inspiring the horror stories on Earth. Many of the levels inside the back rooms were a series of dark rooms. They often had no goals, objectives, or hidden meaning. Some even represented formless chaos, but they nonetheless had substance in comparison to the hollowness of the shadow spiral. To explore the back rooms and to even enter the dimension initially, Wanderers had to no-clip. At one point, Braddock theorized that the backrooms were somehow the center of the war fought between the ancient nemesis and the fourth dimension controlling race of beings, despite him considering the myths that spoke of these combatants as poppycock. On another occasion, Braddock theorized that the backrooms were a perception of infinity itself by weak human minds, and thus was subjective, malleable by perception, and in this theory, despite Braddock not believing in binaries of concepts and anti-concepts, he speculated that an anti-exteriority, an anti-infinity, would also be alive and an aspect of the ancient nemesis. On another occasion, Braddock theorized that the backrooms were responsive to fear and thus created levels to deliberately frighten Wanderers, or that the Wanderers themselves inadvertently created levels using the backrooms' power. In 1908, Tom Goodyear no-clipped into the backrooms, or the exteriority as it was then known. After running away from his life following being spurned by his paramour, Margaret Donny, Braddock Cranston, an unrequited lover, set about down on the path of the occult to find him, eventually travelling to a house in Ireland as documented in William Hope Hodgson's book The House on the Borderland, whereupon he performed rituals and fell through the floor. So it's just a backroom story? What makes it a Doctor Who story? I don't know. Braddock was unable to locate Tom in the backrooms, but never gave up looking for him and travelled through many levels, or tiers as he called them, such as Thermochromic Overpaint, Kingdom Cryptica, and Tier FOY. He made many friends with other Wanderers, Calvin, Veronica, and Ali, but they were all killed by monsters. Even many of the strangers he met all had bad fates. For a time, Braddock believed he was in hell itself, but came to learn that this was not the case. It was inside Tier FOY, which contained, of all things, the Fountain of Youth. He gained eternal youth, but wasn't technically invulnerable. He found Tom's shoes there, and this gave him hope that his lover had also gained eternal youth and was still out there. Tier FOY was a great secret, only appearing occasionally to those in need. Braddock later encountered Wanderers from the 21st century and was critical of how computer culture influenced them and their perception of the backrooms as a whole. They were often at odds with their terminology. These Wanderers would map the levels in the backrooms. After 116 years of exploration, in 2024, Braddock no-clipped inside a tavern in Tier Q5% 7 and fell into what he believed was a undocumented tier. As Braddock had been documenting his exploration in his journal, it was subject to Braddock's own declining mental state. The tier he found himself in seemed to be a plain series of nearly empty rooms, but the true nature of the tier seemed to defy empirical observation. Instead, Braddock felt that he was someone in the center of the war. Of a war, and was overcome by the grief that he was all too familiar with given his time as a doctor during the Boer conflicts many times ago. Throughout his time inside the tier, many of the entries in his journal repeated the same few opening paragraphs, implying that the tier was somehow affecting his psyche. He often speculated about the metaphysical nature of the backrooms and was particularly reminded of the myths and legends concerning the war between the formless ancient nemesis and the fourth dimension, controlling race of beings far above the level of humanity. He suspected that the tier he was in, or perhaps the backrooms as a whole, were alive somehow. He believed that the tier he was in had begun thirsting for his immortal blood, and soon as he had left Tier FOY. Eventually, Braddock came to discover he was trapped in the tier and succumbing to the grief radiating from the tier and his own sorrow from the inability to find Tom and the repression of homosexual love in his native time period, and eventually seemed to either die or inexplicably become the tier itself, which is thereafter became known as the Shadow Spiral. After his death, some Wanderers learned of Braddock's experiences, and in a turn of fate, Tom found Braddock's grave in the heart of the tier, placing a wreath atop it and kissing it. That's really sad. Oh my god. That is a good story, man. The backrooms are the titular setting of the backrooms Bifrost. They have been depicted in the Jenny Everywhere mythos, including the series Jenny over there, the 925 universe. Oh! It's okay, Xavier. It's okay. Were you sleepy when you wrote this? It's okay. So is it just the fact that Jenny Everywhere is related to this that gets this on here? It makes use of Kingdom Cryptica. What's that? What's Kingdom Cryptica? Let's take a look. No, Shadow Spiral has licensed stuff. Okay. All right. Well, I think we should do one more before we wrap up for the evening. What about that? One more big one.
Yeah, baby.
Let's make it happen. Remember, no politics, which means all we can talk about is that he was a funny man with jowls. Richard Milhouse Nixon was the 37th President of the United States from 1969 to 1974. The 11th Doctor is not particularly fond of him due to his unfortunate events that happened during his term as president, such as Vietnam and the Watergate scandal, but managed to work with him. Nixon assisted the Doctor during his investigation of the silence, often using his power as president to do so. He freed the Doctor after he was arrested and calmed down soldiers at Area 51 by giving a speech. What? Lovely non-political subject, I know. He was born on 9th of January 1913 in Yorba Linda, California. He served in the Navy during World War II. He became a lieutenant commander. By 1952, he served as junior senator and later became vice president to Dwight D. Eisenhower. In 1960, he ran president but lost to John F. Kennedy. Don't have no idea who that is. During a televised debate between the two, Nixon refused to allow makeup assistants to work on him, and as a result, looked noticeably pale and sweaty. It was believed that this may have cost Nixon the election. In 1968, he ran for president again, a Republican. He stood against Reagan and Rockefeller for the party's nomination. Bob Decker believed Nixon should be dead in the water, but kept coming back. Nixon would successfully win that year's presidential election. In 1969, Nixon received calls directly to him wherever he was from a child telling him that she was scared of the monsters that were everywhere and that an astronaut was coming to eat her. Nixon asked the child where and who she was, mistaking the location. She was given Jefferson Adams Hamilton as her name and also mistaking her for a boy. However, she hung up before he could learn more, unsure of how or why the child was calling him and suspecting FBI involvement. Nixon had Canton Everett Delaware III brought in. Having been recently fired from the FBI, he was the second best choice for Nixon's task. He had the training needed but wasn't with the Bureau. If I had a time machine, I'd go back and tell him to put on makeup, prank the world. At the White House, Nixon played Canton a recording of one of the calls. He found the Doctor writing down their conversation in his office and called security. They promptly overwhelmed the Doctor until River unveiled the invisible Tardis, and the Doctor came up with the alibi that he was on loan from Scotland Yard, sent to also help him with the case. Nixon allowed the Doctor to help along with his companions, giving him whatever he needed to find the mysterious caller. This is just the plot of The Impossible Astronaut. Yeah, I remember now because of the Omega solution. The complete nuclear obliteration of Great Britain. I remember that. We've done this before. Top Sigma Nixon moments. In 1977, Nixon was interviewed by British television presenter David Frost, who accused him of lying and committing criminal acts. These interviews were watched by over 45 million people. According to an excised transcript of the interview, Nixon gave his views on Watergate and stated that it was the part of the legacy he would be remembered for, but in terms of the big picture, it was peanuts. Nixon went on to reveal that he was saving the world not from nukes or commies, but from real goddamn aliens. Nixon did not elaborate further, prompting Fox to ask if they should break for lunch. He passed away at the age of 81? God damn it. Legacy in 1995, Nixon was released starring Anthony Hopkins. God damn it. Okay, I think that we're going to wrap up for tonight. Can't top that, can we? Alright. I will be streaming Undertale tonight. So come find me on Wild Magic at Twitch. Twitch.tv/Wild Magic. It's on my message thing. You should get it. On my chat, sorry. You should go click on that link and then follow me on Twitch. Pacifist route. We're doing the pacifist route today. Should be very exciting. Until then, if I see you there, which I should see you there, you should fucking show up. Yeah, no, have a good night. And we will be doing Wikipedia Roulette next Thursday and Tardis Wiki Roulette next Tuesday. So goodbye for another week, those of you who will not be seeing me again. Bye!